Now, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, the implementation, right? So obviously, union thumbs up. Let's think about the employees' adoption. So before we kind of talk about their reaction, I'd love to know a little bit more about how you actually rolled out TeamSense. How did you think in terms of, okay, we have this new technology, we're going to roll it out. How did you kind of think through that process and that rollout process?
Yeah. So the way that we did it was we started at, it was actually the end of last year was when we were kind of starting conversations with Adam, getting everything set up, taking care of all the pre-communication with the union that needed to happen. And then our goal was for the very beginning of this year to get it rolled out. I think we weren't fully live until February or March. I don't remember exactly. But basically what we did is we had some all hands meetings with all of our employees where we quite literally just put up on the screen what it looks like on their phone and the phone number, how to do it.
Yeah.
We gave them a little bit of a handout if they wanted instructions to follow along with afterwards. And then I had little business cards made up that said it was something really simple, like you want to report an absence, text out to the TeamSense number. And so what that let them do is they just tucked it into their badge. And so, I don't have one, but like in my badge holder, you can tuck a business card size thing right in there.
Oh,
Um,
smart.
so,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
so there's no excuse to not have it, really.
Yeah.
Um, and then what we did after that is I had imported everybody's phone number, so the system already knew who they were. Of course, we had some percentage, I don't know, 20% of employees not have their most up to date cell phone number or something like that in there. So there was a little bit of hand holding, walking around, over communicating, making sure that people were in and were all set and tried it out. But after the first, I want like 3 or 4 weeks of just doing that and getting the rough edges rounded off. The only discussions that I've had about TeamSense since then has just been, this person moved from here to there, the implementation that we're working on with ADP, which is kind of cool. And then some expansion of how we're using TeamSense. And we'll get into that in a sec, but we're using it actually starting this week for overtime in certain to tell a group of employees what the hours are going to be and have them report back to us which days they're going to work the overtime hours, which is really cool. Yeah.
So, go ahead, Adam.
So it's like, well, a webinar here where, I don't want to gloss over any of the potential challenges. Like, I think that, it's important to think about and talk about some of the places where you ran into a little bit of friction. Andy, I think you started down that path a little bit. So you said that, there was some instances where the phone numbers that you had loaded for employees in TeamSense were out of date. And
Yep.
so did you walk them through how they could input their badge ID or their employee ID to update their contact information?
Yep. So that's actually a super important thing to go through. So when we were taking a look at how employees are uniquely identified, the way that employees clock in and out is they have an employee number. They punch that number into our time clock, and then they use their finger, and that's their punch. And so the key for all of our employees was their employee number. And so basically the way that we communicated to make sure that everybody knew that was, okay, the first time you text TeamSense, if it knows who you are, great. If it doesn't know who you are or doesn't recognize your phone number, the only thing that you need to know is that number that you punch in every single day, 4 times when you're clocking in and out, that everybody has burned into their skull, because that's your unique identifier. Once it's identifies you based on that, it'll know who you are, and then TeamSense gives you the option, hey, do you want to update your number in the system with the number that you just texted with or not? And so it was relatively simple to get that all ironed out. Now, I'm not going to lie, the first couple of weeks, I did spend more time than usual walking around, talking up TeamSense, making sure that nobody was having issues. And I did have some early adopters that were helping me with that. So they were kind of the people in certain departments that I could point others to and say, okay, if you're having a problem, I can help you. But if I can't help you right now, you can go see this other person because they were successful. And if they help and you're good, perfect. If not, that's okay. Come find me or I will find you later.
And these were not supervisors. These were like frontline hourly
Yep.
folks. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. My style is, I spend my whole day out on the floor, so I'm approachable. I know everybody's name. And so that helped in the implementation. If I was the guy from the corporate office coming down and doing this thing, that would not have worked.